Now, should be back now. Pleasure, mate. Always how I like to do business. Fast and reliable. That's what they call me. Fast, efficiency, reliable are my middle names. Yeah, excited to try something. I've got a few new toys ready for the stream. They're actually not for the stream, but it's for something else. Ready? We'll try one now. We'll try one now. So, ready? Alright, it's not quite worked. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Oh yes, I've got it fixed now. Alright, ready? Ready? Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Got a wide shot. Got a wide shot. And you can still see what I'm working on down here in the wide shot, if you want to see Big Dano at his best. But then I can just be like, bang, back to this one, and we're on. And I've got a little doobie to let me do that really easy. Pretty fancy pants, eh? Alright, we're going to paint this dude. Actually, we're not going to paint that dude. I'm pinging hard today. New toys. New toys. Now, I don't know if you've been around the stream for a while, but I had a lot of difficulty early on trying to get my cameras to work. And Flick, the great man himself, was telling me, Dano, you've got too many webcams in the USB controller. And I said, Flick, I don't understand what any of that shit means, mate. Well, I do understand what that shit means now. I finally did some research and have figured it out. So, I actually understand. He's a super snake, he's super snake, hey, ow. Thank you to the wonder, the man himself, Ben X Layton, for my little snake. Alright. The snake is probably a smidge smaller than it would have been ideal, but we can work around that, I think. Oop. G'day, Shadow Ayuvre. What's happening, my friend? Alright, let's assemble the snake and do that before we start painting tonight. I think we want the snake to just be slightly back, like that. Yes, good. This was supposed to this was supposed to arrive yesterday, so I was hoping to do this last night. Maybe be painting tonight, the little snake friend, but there's a lot of postal issues because of the flooding and so on. So we make do. There's a cool little snake. G'day, Mittens. What's going on? Everyone should go follow Mittens. I still haven't figured out how to do my shout outs, but I'm going to fix that soon because I've got fancy things. I got fancy buttons to press now. Look at this, Mittens. How great. It's the littlest things that amuse me, really, truly, friends. I'm so enthusiastic about that. No, I haven't set up my bots. I learnt more about my hardware, and I figured out why I couldn't do things before. And all songs done wide shot. Deal. That's a deal. You got it. Hang on, I'm doing some putty. I've got to do this, but then I'll do it in a second because this is the quick drying one. So as soon as I finish this, I will do your song and switch it over to the fancy wide shot. I just realised I made a mistake. Where do I want you to be? Right there. Come on, Dano. Oh, Shannon Null. What about me? Alright, I can make that happen. So you may be wondering, Dano, what the fuck are you doing? And that's an excellent question. It's a very pertinent question for anyone right now. And the answer is I'm trying to sculpt a little bit more of an angled base for this guy, so we can get him tilted upwards. And take a step back and see the little people. They may be young, but they're the ones. Let the big people be. So listen as they whisper, what about me? Struggling at the moment to do something quickly. Come on, Dano. Come on, son. Go, mate. Go, Dano. You can do it. G'day, Alex. Alright, there is method to my madness here, friends. I'll explain it in a second. This is just a very time-sensitive process. We need to get this right. Oh no, I forgot my fucking plastic film. Dana, you're an idiot. What are we going to name the snake? Snaky McSnake Face, no doubt. That is the name that everyone will decide upon. This is, after all, the internet. And that is what happens on the internet. Alright. That is the go. Perfect. Alright. So what to explain what was going on there, this has got a hollow deck, a hollow bottom, and so the bottom was actually moving a little bit, flexing as I was pushing it down, which is slightly suboptimal. So I've added a hard layer of my favourite putty kneaded, which will solidify that and give it a very firm bottom so it won't move, as I'm quite partial to a firm bottom myself. And then I wanted to have him raised up a little bit again, just to create a little bit more of a story. Hello, Joanne. Where he is attacking. All right, we ready? Well, there's a little boy waiting at the counter of a corner shop. He's been waiting down there, waiting half the day. His dreams walk in and now they never stop. He's been pushed around, knocked to the ground. He gets to his feet and he says, what about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough, now I want my share. Can't you see? Wide shot. Fuck, I'm good at this streaming malarkey, aren't I? It's only taken me fucking 16 months to get a second camera angle. Get a fucking stream deck. What a legend. Alright. Well, Snaky McSnake Face, we'll just leave him there for the moment. G'day, Jared. Or as I like to say, hello there, Jared. Welcome to the stream. Fuck, this is not good. I shouldn't be allowed things like this. Hello, Captain Carp. Alright, I've done a little bit of cheating. I started on this guy. So yes. I started on him. But let me grab the other chap. This is a bit of a... Oh, let me grab the whole piece actually. So there's a very distinct, different skin tone, and I actually don't like it as much as I thought I would. I really wanted there to be like a real duality between the two, where this guy was green skinned, like he was coming and invading this other guy's homeland, and you know, something like that. But it's not quite working for me, so we're going to warm it up a bit, add a bit more redness into it, pinkish, and just bring it a little bit closer to this guy, which will help with the base as well, as at the moment the base feels a little bit askew compared to him, like he doesn't quite feel like he belongs. Yeah, so we're going to add some more redness, so that'll be fun. Correct, yeah, Phoenix guy's red, Snake guy's green. Harry Potter. I wonder if I'd be even better off just drilling that out. I'm not sure. So we're actually going to do a fair bit of airbrushing to tweak this, which will make my metals possibly need reworking, but let's see. Let's see if I can do it. Just tweak this down a little smidge. Good. Oh, I don't think my Twitter thing worked because I did it already. I've got a button on my thing that lets me say, hi, I'm tweeting now, I'm live. It only works once every 12 hours. Yeah, it didn't work. Oh well. Okay, so what I want to do is add redness to the skin, and what I want to do is bring it a little bit closer to the other one. So I'm going to start by going up and then come back down. So we're going to go to a really light color. We're going to go a light pink. So what color do I want that to be? I think we'll go light flesh, fairy flesh, and a little bit of something else. So fairy flesh. I'm going to add, actually I'm going to add a little bit of magenta, I think. What about me? It isn't fair. I've had enough, now I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live. You just take more. You just take more than you give. What about me? Bucks got married on Tuesday, everyone. What a happy time for him. Many congratulations. It's a terrible mistake he's made. Alright, let's test that theory out, shall we? I was at the bank the other day and an old lady asked me to help check her balance. So I pushed her. Oh, I gotta stop. This could be a possible time to whip out a little bit of masking putty, and I may still do that. If I need to. What about me? Yeah, I sort of don't want to lose all the green, right? I don't want to lose every little bit of green that we had, because I think the green was nice. Added a little, a little pop of otherworldliness to this particular chap, which I think was a good thing. So I want to try and keep a bit of the green in there. So we'll try and, when we go in and add some more shadows with the airbrush, we'll probably try and pop a bit of green in it. Smile a lot. Stiff-neck syndicate. Hello, mate. Yes, he's not an orc, but we want him to feel a little bit like something unusual, like he's an invader in a foreign land. So some greenish tones, some weird colours, green and magentas will help. Hey, cool, man. Well, I would tell you how much I like airbrushing, but I think you probably already know that. So think about how much time it would have taken to do what I've just done here. Magnificent. Where's the other guy? Where are you, jumping guy up there? Warm red we want. A warm oxide red. Let's actually just use that red oxide. Look, mate, I don't know enough about no-name airbrush brands to give you a concrete answer on that. What I will tell you is that I started with a brand called Pasch, P-A-A-S-C-H-E, and although they're a no-name in the miniature world, they're quite a reputable airbrush brand. So that was where I started, but honestly, it was pretty good, but it was too big for the functions that I wanted to start using it for. So I then moved to an Australian brand which was called Runway 13, and they were adequate. Allowed me to really develop and progress before I finally switched over to Iwata, and they're my preferred brand. So I don't think you need a specific certain brand or name brand, but I do think you need to get a brush that is the right size for the type of work that you are planning on doing or want to learn to do. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could add some green to this guy. Alright. Yeah, as long as this stuff, yeah, okay, those are good sizes. As long as the compressor's got my moisture trap, and you can vary your pressure on the compressor, and as long as you've got some diagrams that tell you how to unconstruct it and put it back together, I think that sounds pretty good. But if an airbrush isn't well constructed, which can be the case, what you may find is that it's prone to having little mess ups. Yeah, much better. We'll add some orange tones, I think. Yeah, that's just annoying actually. That is just very annoying. Correct, yeah. The moisture trap is just a little, wonder if you can see it from my wide shot. It's just, no, you can't. But it's a little tap in there that lets you push a button, and if there's water in there, it'll just evaporate it out. Surprisingly, how often water goes in there. I'm just annoyed with this flexible bottom situation, so I'm just fixing it. It's just because of the print, the quality of the print, you know, like the fine detail, how thin it is. It's just got some thin lines, which is good thing. Alright, let's try take 2 on this plan. You're welcome, mate. I mean, it's a wonderful and very fun activity to do, particularly when you get good at it. But I will say that if you don't know what you're doing, it can be very frustrating. So feel free to ask questions anytime, and I will happily help as much as I can. G'day, Jet. Oh, yeah, the lips are getting bigger. Awesome. All right. Just turn that a bit like that. The brushwork is where you really have to correct your airbrush mistakes, but the retarder is a non-essential part of that, mate. Like, alright, stay. I'm just going to check my Instagram because the dude. Good. Yeah, I did that commission. The dude's models just arrived, which is good, and he likes them, which is good. Okay. Let that dry, and then we'll be good. Good to go. Well, from the perspective of I need to do some sculpting on those rocks, but good to go. Okay, cool. Okay, let's go. So yeah, I'm much happier with this colour alongside this guy. So we got some different tones. So I'll move into a warmer highlight colour now. So we're going to use Sunny Skin Tone for that, and I am going to add a little bit of that yellow that I was using the other day, the new yellow. What's that called? Something yellow. I'm having a good one tonight. Wow, this is a new one, honeymoon yellow. Wow, I'm going to try that. There it is, this one. This is called diarylide yellow. This one's a new one. Ooh, here we go. Series 2, honeymoon yellow. Nice. Try that. Yeah, snake eye should be good. Once those putties have dried, we'll put all of them on the base and see how they all look together, because I think that's going to help shape some decisions. Okay, let's go. This has been a fun little project. I've enjoyed a lot of it. Enjoyed a lot of the little bits. You know, putting together the little diorama base has been fun, and did something slightly different with my non-metallic metals, and yeah, just a nice little project that I've enjoyed. What about me? I will run you through them, mate, because I think I'm going to have to do some on this shield. So we will do the shield, and I can show you exactly how I did it. Assuming I can remember. No, I should be fine, I think. that already looks significantly improved. And always remember, I say this one all the time, but it always bears repeating. You know, this skin tone looks pretty good, but before you judge it, we really need to pull the other colours around it to a more finished stage. Specifically talking about the leather. G'day, Jan. You know, the leather itself. If we leave the leather that very pastel colour because of the airbrushing that I just did, it's not quite going to read a true representation of the skin, what it actually looks like. So yeah, let's fix that leather, and then we can assess it a bit more holistically. So let's do that now. What's been happening, Jan? Hey Jan, check this out, mate. I'm a pro streamer now. Awesome. That piece was looking fantastic last time I saw it. Just as another point of difference on this dude, I think I'll put some copper elements on him. Yeah, no, awesome. And it's a complex model too, so kudos, my friend. Jan, how do you feel about streaming? Do you feel like it's helped you improve as a painter? Do you feel like it's made you worse? You feel like it's made you faster, slower? You've been doing it a decent chunk of time. Yeah, it's just something I was mulling over the other day. I think my experience has been that I've gotten faster, but I've gotten maybe fractionally worse, because I'm constantly thinking to myself, you know, I want to create an interesting, content, and so maybe I'll speed up a little when I should probably slow down a little at certain instances, but on the whole, I think it's been good to have a time slot that I dedicate to painting every couple of days, even though I would have normally done that. But you know, it's a consistent, hey Butcher of Nine, it's a consistent time. So yeah, just interested on your perspective, mate. So thank you. Okay, I think we might switch over and do some shield. And then we might glue the shield on, because I think I want to work on the whole thing. Maybe I'll glue the shield on. No, I want to, no. Okay, cool. So this is the perspective. Yes, I did. This is the perspective of the shield that we get mostly. When we put it on here, we get both sides. So I'm going to have to do both sides, but I'm going to focus more so on this side. So I'm going to do this side first. Alright, so the first colour I used, I'm about 99% sure, is this one. Dark green grey from AK. Don't need to use this, mate. Any desaturated grey green would work. So, you know, like a German uniform, the Vallejo colour, you know, something like that. Or just mix your own, mix a bit of black and white into, you know, like a Dark Angels green or something. You could also use Fallen Grass if you have the Michael Pizarski non-metallic metal set, which I do. Yeah, it's been cool seeing other painters on Twitch. You know, obviously, from my perspective, the one I'm most excited to watch and watch the most frequently is Mini Den, and seeing the stuff he does is great. But also, you know, CHK Studio, he's an incredible painter. Jose Da Vinci comes on occasion, which is cool. Although he speaks Spanish, which I don't. Let's just zoom back and have a look at this picture and see if it works. It's still fucking annoying. I might have to glue this dude down and paint him on the base. Yeah, that could work. Yeah, I might do that actually. Just so he stops wobbling around, and that'll allow me to sculpt a little bit more. Okay. Oh, what a legend. What a painter. What a painter. One of the absolute all times. This is the first time I've seen the whole project together, friends. With the snake and the dude jumping and everything. First time. Okay. Works good. Alright, I'm actually going to glue that snake down. I know that sounds a little crazy, but g'day, Rumble, you champion. Don't try this at home, kids. All right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this little stuff. It's Magi Sculpt. It's not as quick drying as the other one I was using. Need it. I just find it's really nice consistency for rocks. Yeah, it's just really good. So that means we're not painting the snake tonight. Have to paint it tomorrow. It's going to be enough. Probably not enough. I installed some more RAM into my computer yesterday. How cool is that? For those who don't know, I know nothing about hardware on computers, so this was a big achievement for me. Yeah, so this is Magi Sculpt. It's just another two-part epoxy, but it dries rock hard, no pun intended, and I sort of find it just a little bit easier to work with sometimes. I believe it stands for random access memory, but don't quote me. Don't quote me. Yeah. And that's for when you're trying to run lots of things at once, like I often do on my computer. Alright, so let's just... So my plan with this little bit here is just to make it a little bit more rock stuff, and I'm up to 32 gig now. I only had 16 before. If you've watched me sculpting before, friends, I'm definitely not very good at it, but I can usually get by. They're 8 gigs each, 8 gig each, the chips that I've got. So I've got 4 8 gig. I had 2 16s. I had 16 before. They're G'day Blaze Pastel, thanks for the follow, champion. They're a Corsair colourful one. As I said, I'm a professional. Very fancy. Well, the snake is bigger than a normal snake because I've also got a phoenix which is quite large. So I wanted the snake to be proportional to the phoenix, like it's a familiar or a demon, if you want to use the terminology from the Golden Compass. You know, like a pet that follows around the other chap. That was my theory. And yeah, I think that the scale actually looks pretty bang on from that perspective. I'll grab the phoenix in a second and put him aside. But yeah, it feels about right to me, which is good. That's a real success. Magisculpt. Yeah, so it's a combination base, and I actually did make this one on stream, buddy. So you probably can go back and watch the whole thing. But these are the resin elements that the figures came with. This is a piece of slate. The rest is cork and cork. Yeah, that's it. G'day, Noah's Army. I'll be back to painting soon, I promise, friends. Just got to get just this little bit done here so this doesn't look too bad. Perfect. Let's just actually go here as well. Ooh. Pull yourself together, man. Good. No woofers, no tweeters that I'm aware of. I've got shiny fans, like my fans are flashy colours, and yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm pretty fucking professional these days, you know. Alright, so I wasn't sure where the snake was going to go, and I wasn't sure how much of this sort of goobery stuff I needed, but we're going to go back and put some of this stuff on now. And I'll integrate that into the rest of the paint job. And paint ourselves a snake. Probably a bit much, you know, but yeah. Nice. That will do. So that's going to have to be painted tomorrow. Tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. Only a day away. Good, good, good. All right, let's put this guy in front of him. Oh my God, it's so good. Look at that. That's awesome. Yeah, cool. And here's the Phoenix. Alongside the snake. Yeah, so I wanted them to be like a similar feeling scale, and I think that's about right. So kudos to my glorious compatriot Ben X Layton for his tremendous 3D printing ability to get it the right size for me. And the detail. All right, shieldy time. Actually, let me just do a quick Seigel brown wash. So, sorry Jared, I know you were fucking very excited about my non-metallic metal paint job discussion. Let's go back to it right now. Cool. All right. So yeah, we'll start with a black base. No, that's right. I didn't start with a black base. I started with Tenebrous Grey, which is a reddy brown base. So I'll need some of that. And then into the AK, then into that, and then I went into light flesh. So let's grab out some light flesh. Yes. All right. Cool. Yep. So these are the four colours I used: Tenebrous Grey from AK, dark green grey from AK, light flesh, and iron hue. So let's participate in that right now on this shield. All right. So very important we get the light consistent with everything else. So we want the light to be coming from up here in this area. Alright, so we're going to go Tenebrous Grey and a little bit of this green. It is indeed, yeah, it's Black Sun. It's a duel. And it's called Severax versus Solrax. It's one of their, yeah, I actually think it's one of their best figures that they've done. I really like a lot of their range, but yeah, these are absolutely two of my favourites from the range. Yeah, awesome. So I'm trying to think a little bit broadly about light on a flat surface, and one of the best references I can recommend for any flat shield-like surface is Captain America's shield. If you go and have a look at Captain America's shield and the way the light catches on it, it's just a fantastic reference. So if the light's from this top section up here, you're going to have a very circular green highlight up here. Just going to add a few other little areas, little Bobby Dazzlers. straight into this colour in a pure So I'm trying to focus on the shape of the shield, and then starting to think about the direction the metal, g'day Nashland, would have been beaten in, or whatever, however it was made, and then focusing on how the light's going to hit it. Remembering we're looking at it from this angle, so we want to see most of the highlight here. It's actually all going to be darker because it's underneath, but that's it. Yeah, it's still metal, so it's still going to reflect. We just got to do it darker than the rest of the metal, but that'll be a later airbrush piece. Alright, so now we'll move into grey. A little bit of Monica in my life. Bit of Sandra in the sun, a little bit of Mary all night long, a little bit of Jessica, here I am, a little bit of you makes me your man. Jump up and down, move it all around. I don't know if JC's still with us. He's probably putting the kids to bed or something like that, but he'll be able to watch on replay if he's desperate to know the colours in the process. So I feel like this whole stage that I'm doing now is just about creating something really interesting for the eye to follow. It's not necessarily about getting everything in the right, a perfect representation of light and shadow, because metal's a bit weird how it reflects, and if you want to see how much you actually genuinely have to think about, go and read Kirill Kanaev's book. And he's got about 17,000 pages on non-metallic metal, and just how light fucking hits things. It's just wild. It's absolutely outrageous. So this is not a method that's going to get you Kirill's results. I can tell you that for a fucking fact. Yep, we can. But as always, most of the time I'll do that with an airbrush. It really speeds up the process. It creates a really diffused look of the metal reflecting. So I start by doing a little bit of a highlight on the metal, which gives you a really nice glint, and then we move into the some of the environmental reflections. Oh, hey mate. Must be late for you, champion. But yes, we'll be definitely doing some reflections, particularly of the colour of the ground, which is that warm desert orangey yellow, and some of the skin tone we'll put in there, which we'll just do with a bit of red and pink. Great. And so now we move into grey and this light flesh, and this is where it starts to look like metal. The light flesh is a pink colour, so again it's a slightly different tones from the other one where I did more of a warmish metal. Again, just trying to create this point of difference between these two friends having a slight disagreement as they are. So I'm not if you haven't watched much before, I'm definitely not a painter that's going to get you the ultra smooth, perfect results. None of these processes are going to get you perfect results like this sort of the Pazarskis and the what have you, but you get some interesting elements, more visual interest. Haha. I actually said JC's probably had to go and put the kids back to bed. So there you go, mate. I did say you'll be able to rewatch on recording. So there you go. But you're about to catch the most interesting bit anyway. Alright, the final brush piece will be with this pure light flesh. I'm actually going to switch to my smallest brush. So I genuinely believe that non-metallic metal is less about colour and more about placement. You can make just about any colours work. But if you get the placement in the wrong spot, it won't look like metal. On the other hand, if you get the placement in the right spot, bang, anything looks like metal. Alright, I think that will do for the mermaids. Yep, cool. Up you go. Just a friendly reminder. How great. Okay, let's go. So we're gonna airbrush firstly a highlight colour. Thank you. And so this highlight colour is a little mixture of white and a little mixture of light flesh, and we want it to be fairly thin. Hello. All right, so. bit of orange, bit of agaros. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so again, remember, this is the angle, this is the bottom. So we're going to incorporate some of the red tones. And this is sort of the rusty, color that I've been using, which is agaros, and I like the irregularity of yeah, doing a little bit of washing, a little bit of Alright, now because I want it to be the underside of the shield, which is in shadow, I'm going to just give the whole thing a real glaze of a dark green, which will be this pterodon turquoise mixed in with a tiny little bit of black. And then the final step would be to add the scratches, the sharp highlights that actually bring it back. And at that point, this little bad boy will be basically ready to glue on, I think. And the way that I use the airbrush, friends, it's all about creating this sort of underlying texture. G'day, Ghost Raven. That gives you some real visual interest before. Yeah, basically doing all the hard work for me, smoothing out. Hey, thanks mate, yeah, pretty cool. Fun little contest, wasn't it? This is what happens when you have no rules. It's like, alright friends, paint whatever you want. Big Dano, 800 fucking kilogram diorama. Everyone else, one bust. It's my own fault, isn't it? I am happy for her to win. I think it's a wonderful wonderful thing for her to win. I definitely don't need any of those prizes. So I'd rather they go to someone who does, or will be absolutely wrapped. Yeah, it was just the Instagram contest for their patrons. Yeah, they had a 2-month deadline. You could paint whatever you wanted. Yeah, and it was just a fun little contest. I painted the very small. Yeah, I think it was like 3 scale artist sets or something. Yeah, I've only used the scale colours once, I think, which was actually it was in Craft World's class when they came to Brisbane. I used them because they were like, yeah, everyone should try these, they're awesome. And I think I grabbed a couple of them to try them out, and they were good, but it's one of those interesting dynamics when you have a painting class, right? You get people come along and they want to learn new techniques and new strategies and use new colours and stuff, but then when they go back to their house and to the old colours and the old sets, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know how to do it because they don't have those colours. So then you're either rebuilding your process from the ground up with a new paint set, or you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. It's on their Instagram from about a week ago, I think, the entries. My entry's this thing behind me. Yeah, just a little baby diorama. Normal, totally normal for that to be entered in a competition. That was dumb. Let's use the wide shot to show just how big it is. Wide shot. Wide shot. That was pretty good, man. Hey, where your clothes at? There's a tiny couple of little areas I think I would tweak, which I will tweak before I send off. A couple of little things. Yeah, it's not that big. Yes. Yeah, you get some interesting angles from this, don't you? Yes. Yes. It wasn't commissioned, no. It was, yeah. I don't do a lot of commissions generally. I like to just paint my own stuff, you know. Unless I have some particular models that I'm keen to do for commission. But generally I just like painting stuff and doing weird things, and if people like it, great. If they don't like it, great. All fine. Oh, we're still on wide shot. Yeah, no, I am sending it off. It is sold. Someone's purchased it, which is great. But yeah, wasn't pre-planned. It was just me painting it. Thanks, Ghost Raven. Let's go back to the normal one. Yeah, too late if you were hoping to buy it. You are. Got to get in quick these days. Got to get in quick. Smart woman. All right. So I figured out a bronze that I'm happy with, which is very cool. So I'm going to do that. Assuming I can find red leather. I've got two. Actually, I've got three. I've got three coming up. So the first one is a Nico Galaxy. It's going to be full on. I'll show you the models actually because it's pretty mad. I'm pretty jazzed for it. While I wait for that to dry. Yeah, it's using all these cyberpunk models. All these ones. So like this chick with her little dog and this chick. I got like 10 of them or 12 of them or something. And we're going to put them on a city, a cyberpunk city, but it's actually going to be a floating city. I've figured out a way, I think, to rig it so that there's a flat base, and then there's going to be a pole at the back, and then the diorama is going to hang from the pole. So the city's going to look like it's floating, and then I'm going to try and wire electronics through it so that there's neon lights, and I'm also going to try and do it so that when you turn off the lights, there's like an ultraviolet version of the diorama. That's my plan at the moment. That's going to take a lot of planning. So that's the first idea. The second idea I've got is I'm doing a diorama with a friend of mine called Andrew Bucks. We're both going to do a part of a pirate or orc pirate diorama, and then so that one's probably the next big diorama, and then the one that I'll probably do after that one is using the Scale 75 Kickstarter. So there's a Kickstarter last year called Zodiac, and that's the 12 signs of the Zodiac Kickstarter figures. So I'm going to do one similar to Camelot, where I have a rotating table with the with each of the different earth in one area, water signs in another area, fire signs in another, and have a rotating table of that. So that one I'm really interested to get the models so I can start to plan out what it's going to look like. I haven't got a clear vision of that one in my head yet. I've definitely got a clear picture of the cyberpunk city. Like I can already see it. Yeah, I think I don't think I got Nancy because I already painted Nancy, and also all the other models are kind of like sitting down and in a very like relaxed sort of like just hanging around a city pose mostly. It's not really any like chicks firing guns and stuff. There's a chick sitting on her motorcycle and another one kicking back eating noodles. So it's just going to be like a day in the life of a cyberpunk city style. So I didn't want chicks firing guns and that. And I did get the 13th one, yeah. So maybe all 13 of them, but that's the sticking point. I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate that one on the rotating table. So if you didn't see Camelot, if you didn't see the rotating table, here it is. No, that's not it. Let's go back to this screen where I know it works. Here it is. No, that button. There you go. Camelot! Camelot. It's a silly place. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like showing it off. It's a beautiful version of Galahad done by a Japanese painter. His name's Keigo Murakami. and he's literally just finished, or he's very close to finishing his version of Galahad. Yep, Camelot is indeed sold. It is already at its new home. Sold that towards the end of last year. You know, I really, I genuinely generally don't do projects like to try and sell them. I genuinely don't. My goal is I paint stuff that I want to paint. And from the moment I saw those figures for Camelot, the thing just popped into my head, and it was almost exactly in my head the way that it came out, right? So that was just, that was just a really happy circumstance that someone was willing to buy a project like that. But and the same with that one with Hyperborea. You know, that's lucky, right? I don't mind if I sell them or not. I'm not painting projects like that to try and sell them and make a profit. I'm just literally painting it because I want to paint it. No, I haven't done a lot of bust backdrops. I think I've done one, but it wasn't really a backdrop. It was more of a little diorama scene. I've only ever painted one backdrop that I can think of off the top of my head, and it wasn't very good. So yeah, I'm just really lucky that, you know, I can come up with cool, crazy ideas, and then I'm able to, you know, occasionally sell them, and that allows me to buy more models to come up with other cool, crazy ideas. And Ghost Raven, yeah, for sure. If you want to, sorry I missed that, mate. But yeah, post a picture somewhere. I'll have a look at it. Right, we do actually need to do a check of this guy and the Phoenix. So I think we're going to need to incorporate some OSL from the Phoenix onto this shield. Blip. Boom. Alright, your first problem, and I'm sure you're already aware of it, potato photo. Potato photo. So it's hard to really give you an accurate gauge when the exposure is that far off, but let me grab my little dude here, and it's not a perfect example, but I'll just explain a little bit more about some of the common mistakes with skin tones. So when you look at, you know, this sort of skin tone, right, you see what looks like really high value areas, you know, here, 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 here. And so they look really bright, right, and intense and vibrant. and you think to yourself, I've got to go up really high and do a highlight with like a white or an ivory. None of that is white or ivory. In fact, the highest value area in there is sunny skin tone, which is an orange. And so what I want you to try and think about is not increasing your highlights, but actually increasing the area that you have your mid-tone in, right? So you still want to have some little highlights, some little pop lights, but at the moment you're treating the surface a little bit too much like, not like skin. You know, skin should predominantly be like a genuine mid-tone, and it's a conversation I've had with a number of people, Bucks and Benny and Bunny and all sorts of people on this stream, whereby you zoom in close on a figure and you realise, oh wow, you know, there's actually no areas of white on that, even though it looks really vibrant and you know, contrasted, but there's no white or highlights because there's a larger area of mid-tone. Yeah, so this is you know, probably not a perfect example. I've gone for quite a drastic lighting and you know, tried some experiments, but I think this gives you a perspective of yeah, what I'm trying to say. So that's, when I look at the figure, that's the thing that jumps out at me. Not enough mid-tone, a little bit too broken down into the musculature, and that's actually not a great sculpted musculature. The bit that looks the best, and you feel free to disagree if you want here, but for me the bit looks the best is this and this. Alright, so that area, that's the best angle. That's got the right, like, sort of colours and the right amount of highlights, you know. You see that looks great. Then you come back here and it doesn't look like the balance is right. So anyway, something to mull over, mate. Most of all, just keep painting, have fun. What are we at? Ooh, almost 2 hours. We'll be packing up shop very soon. Flickstar! Oi, check this out, Flick. I'm a fucking pro, man. I'm a streaming pro that doesn't have his fucking shout-outs worked out. But look at this. Okay, let's go. Oh, I don't want that bad. Okay, Camelot, stop. Stop what you're doing. 3:20 AM, jeepers. That's very early. I know. I got this stream malarkey on lockdown, mate. Yeah, that was an accident. That was just a source that popped up again. That wasn't supposed to. Everyone should go follow Flickster. Very nice man. Helped me very much with my streaming and with my setup. Flick, actually, how funny! I was talking about you just before. Remember how you were like, you can't get 2 webcams because you don't have the right buses or something? You were talking about buses and controllers and stuff, and I was just like, man, what are you talking about? You're a joker. Well, I think I've figured it out. I went and bought a PCIe USB card that I put in my computer that I installed myself, and I figured out what buses mean. And so I think I can get probably 5 webcams on here now if I wanted, and that will work, I think, based on my knowledge of the situation. Mind you, well, I've got 4 at the moment. I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one. So, pretty cool. I reckon I can do one more. How do you get more? Like, like assuming I was trying to do 7 or something, or 10, you just can't put that many PCIs or bus things in there. So how do you do that? Do you have to set it up through a second desktop or something? Yeah, right, okay. And are both of your PCs like top of the line spec? Or is it just one that's, you know, fancy and one that just gets by? Yeah. Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm computer noob. Like, I don't play computer games, so literally everything I've bought for my streaming experience has been brand new. How do you... Thank you, mate. I know. Thanks, Al. How'd we go, mate? Has the model turned up yet? Or have they come back to you yet? Yeah, and then I can put it on my thing and I can just press a button and it'll go pew, 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 pew. Socials. Pew, 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 pew. I should do one for an emotes in the chat. Pew, pew. Smooth. How good. All right, mate. Cool. Well, just keep me posted, buddy. I'm quietly devastated. That's what I'm using. That's what I'm using over there. I already bought that. That was what I bought. One of my new toys. I bought new RAM. I bought the Stream Deck, and I bought the PCIe card so that I could add more webcams. I've already got like 4 webcams sitting there. I actually don't know how I got that many webcams. Just sort of accumulated them. the look in your eyes, or is it these dancing shoes? Who cares, baby? Think I wanna marry you. Just say I do. Tell me right now, baby. Tell me right now, baby. Just say I do. Cool, baby. Alright, well, to finish this guy off, I just need to do these leather strappy bits, the fur, the boots with the fur. I've done a couple actually. Thanks, Jared. Yeah, so that's sort of the finished effect. This side less so, but what we need to check is actually right now. So let's do that right now. Let's have a look at the whole project. Hey, Space Toy. This is all starting to crackle up now, and that'll all be dry. So he's excellent. He doesn't want to move, which is great. Cool. Okay, so let's put this chap in. It is a 3D printed snake, yes, indeed, Space Toy. And let's put in my Phoenix. Jumpy guy on as well, hey? The first time I put the whole 4 of them on there. Get on, Jumpy guy. Jumpy guy, stop it. So there we go. That is the piece that we are working towards. So we'll probably just... Awesome, mate. We'll probably just tweak the skin tone on this guy just a little bit more orange. Just a little touch. I love the snake. The snake works a lot for me. I'm really happy with that. That's a great addition. And it's got a really nice dynamic lines if you have a look, I think. You know, we've got this angle up here to the Phoenix. You know, this little line here up into this guy. You know, this guy's coming down here. These two are looking at each other. This guy's looking at him. This guy's looking at him. You know, it's a lot of really good lines and stuff. But then you've also got this negative space. You know, under here, in here, the gap, in here, all the Phoenix negative space through there. So, yeah. Whoops. Yeah. So there's reflections of the Phoenix on this guy. I don't want the Phoenix to be like super OSL. I don't think that's necessary. But we will do orange from the Phoenix, and if we work the Phoenix like this, yeah. We definitely need some oranges on there. So let's do that right now. Yeah, this is cool. This is a cool project, friends. I like it. Cool. to use that yet because I'm going to do a little brush work first. Oh, Nicker Jags. Yeah, I haven't got it on, mate. What's the score? Yeah, okay. Come on, girl, say no, 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 no. Say yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, you're not feeling good, Jet? Sorry, mate. That would be very ordinary. One observation I made about COVID the other day to my girlfriend was that it feels like it's been a very long time since I've been, cold and flu sick. I don't reckon I've gotten sick from a cold or flu since before COVID hit. Haven't had any sniffles, haven't had anything. And I think that's because of the heightened level of cleanliness that I've had to adhere to at my workplace. The wearing of masks, all that sort of stuff. It's been significant, noticeable change of unlucky Frog Jim. Oh, okay. That is an absolute Barry Crocker. Off? Mate, he hasn't played for like 8 weeks. He was always going to be off. Hard to come back into this competition. Too soft, mate. How's Munster going? Alright, so what I'm trying to do on this little side of the shield, I don't want the whole thing to be glowing, right? Because I think it's first of all not reflective of how metal works. Hey, pun. But more so, it's not as interesting. So I want to try and create like a swirl of the phoenix. Alongside some of the other metal. It is an odd side, mate. It's a cobbled together side of nothingness that'll probably still go close to winning the comp, mate. Have faith, Al. Have faith. Have I ever let you down before? Well, aside from that time I sent you a model and it didn't turn up. Do you know how many models I've sent overseas, all over the world? In the last 4 or 5 years, I reckon I've probably sold 200 figures and sent them overseas. I've never once had a problem. It's always the first time. Yes, Space Toy. I've been very, very fortunate, mate. You know, most of the figures I paint these days I sell. And if you think about how many figures you've seen me paint on this stream, you would know that it is quite a number that I get through in any given amount of time. And I've been selling figures for probably the last 4 or 5 years. I do indeed. That's all it comes down to, mate. Sounds like a whopping amount, but not that many. Alright, let's do a bit of this covering up like this so I don't fucking... Yeah, I get through a few models, but because I'm you know quick, you know the models that I sell tend to be significantly cheaper than equivalent figures from people that are actually good. The secret weapon. Orange fire. Naranja fuego! How's my pronunciation there, Randall? Naranja fuego! I was going to comment something similar, mate, but I actually tend to agree that I think that bust, it really captured, you know, some nice tones, some freedom. Just felt like a really, you know, a good end result. Which, yeah, it's annoying sometimes, and that's how it works, isn't it? You put all your effort and your energy into something, and then you knock over something in 4 hours like a fucking crusader, and people think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just the game, my friend. Just the game. This is my theory on it, right? And this is why I, talk about a lot of things related to painting and enjoying painting. It's when you get focused on the result, when you're fixated on what you think it's got to look like. Yeah, it's when you stop enjoying the process, enjoying your painting. And it's been my experience that when I stop thinking about the result and start thinking about, I'm just going to have a fucking awesome time painting this figure, that's when it all came together for me. So I'm not saying that's going to work for everyone at every time. Yeah, just have some fun, mate. And the level of enjoyment comes out in your painting. The experience, the joy. That's my philosophy. Not everyone can do it that way. Not everyone wants to do it that way or should do it that way, but that's my process. I was planning on watching the replay. I'm about to do some absolute A-class airbrushing. This is the type of stuff you won't see anywhere else, unless you go and look at Sergio's channel or Angel Geraldez's channel, or people that are good with an airbrush. CHK Studio, Flick. Pretty much anyone can do this, but you won't see it done with this amount of speed. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody has got a body like Flick. Good to know you're still here, mate. Done. Just soften that up. And now, the final step. I'm sorry I haven't provided more actual genuine entertainment, mate. Oh my god, Oldham sent off. Could be a huge. Could be a huge bunny boiler, mate. Bunny boiler. Yes, mate, I am indeed still singing for points, but we've just instituted a new rule where the only time I'm allowed to sing is when I'm on wide shot, so. What's the score? 14-8. Oh, wow. Could be game of the season in round 2. Oh, 48%. Man, I remember Bennett was talking about last time they went down there, he's like, anytime you complete under 65%, you're just not going to beat the fucking Storm. 48%. If the Storm lose that, it's a travesty. Alright friends, I reckon we are about done for tonight. That's a rock solid performance. We got the snake ready to paint. We got this guy 90% of the way there. A few little tweaks. Haha, sorry mate. It's a very early morning stream for you, so I appreciate you even making it a visit, mate. give this guy a varnish. I don't think I've done a varnish on him yet. Might help a few little areas. Just like a little bit more homogenized. Someone asked me on YouTube why I do my matte varnish all the time. And the answer is because I use a variety of different paints. That have a variety of different levels of reflectiveness. And I find using a varnish to homogenize all of those varying degrees of reflectiveness helps give a more polished final look. Boom. And that is all she wrote. Gotta watch me mate paint. Ah, that's beautiful. It's made a lovely, glorious big difference. There you go. He's looking really good. Wow. Yeah, difference in skin tone, still pretty different, but yeah, awesome. I'm happy with that. Cool. All right. Well, friends, it's a pleasure. Thank you for spending time with me this evening. I hope you all had a fun time. I know I certainly did. Showcasing some of the greatness that Big Deno has to offer. Let's go check out who we can raid. Good night. Good night to you. Enjoy your sleep. Boom. No, not that one. Boom. There we go. Not that one. Boom. Fucking well-oiled machine. There we go. Browse. Miniature figures. Who is out and about? Illicit Owl. Don't think I've seen this chap before. Good night, Al. Good night, Paul. Night Flick. DIY's Simon Cafe Miniature. What's going on here?
Oh, right.
Look, I don't love a 480p stream, I'm not going to lie. But this is a little like dollhouse or something. It's a little piano. That's pretty cool. Boss me around. I'm talking to you to build a sexual-based friendship. Wow. That seems just like a glorious... Imagine streaming and having to put up with that shit.
Between here and linking up with the guys in the city, but that's to be expected.
Illicit Owl, what's your stream? You're at 1080p. I like the cut of your jib, Illicit Owl.
I think it is
Relationship
on a Sunday.
Okay.
How is it going back into the office after all this time?
Let's go.
Oh, it's so weird. It's weird. I think more so because the building is completely, like, we've had parts of the ceiling collapsed. There's entire rooms.
All
that
right,
are
friends.
compromised
Sunday
that can't be
morning,
used.
I return. Oh, hang on.
My old editorial office.
I return Sunday
only
morning.
half of the room is usable because they've got junk on the floor
Be quiet.
from
Be quiet.
flood damage.
I return Sunday morning for hopefully to finish this off, or maybe to start my next project, depending on what I get up to on the weekend. You're all wonderful. See you all soon. Take care. Big Dano out.
It's covered in muck. So that puts me